3, audio. Audio check. 1, 3, 1, 3, audio check. Check, 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 check. Audio 3, 3, 3. Check 1, 3. Audio check 1, 3. Check. Audio check. Yeah, check, 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 check. Check, 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 check. Audio check. Check 1, 3, 1, 3. Check. So, good morning once again, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 30th anniversary match of the
year of the pandemic, but nonetheless, in the Caribbean on and playing.
Yes, Carl, so we're ready for cricket. We see Burhan Saeed. We'll start from the media center end, and of course, Burhan Saeed goes by the name Starkey. And that is, of course, reference to the Australian bowler, Mitchell Stark. So he comes into bowl to Ridwan. Ridwan gets a full ball, just strokes it up towards the offside. And that means things are finally off and running here. Guyana on the 25, having won the toss, led by Leon Mohabir, and deciding that they'll bat first. Ridwan and Naresh out in the middle. Our ball worked down the ground. That's a lovely looking shot from Ridwan. Ramjohn. And it goes away for four. A good bit of work from one of the fielder, but it goes away for four. So good looking shot from Ridwan. Our ball worked down the ground. That's a lovely looking shot from Ridwan. Ramjohn. And it goes away for four. A good bit of work from one of the fielder, but it goes away for four. So
going down the ground into a general area where there usually aren't any fielders, picking up four to get away.
Well, he gets a good edge, and this one will run away. And so a couple of fours off the bat of Ridwan Ramjohn. And that takes the Guyana on the 25, they're 8 without loss.
Four to get away.
Well, he gets a good edge, and this one will run away. And so a couple of fours off the bat of Ridwan Ramjohn. And that takes the Guyana on the 25, they're
from the young cricketer. This is the Stars of Tomorrow match, and the Guyana under 25 going up against the Caribbean under 25. Some of the brighter prospects in local cricket on the show here.
Yes, Carl, and later on we'll see the senior, the Guyana senior taking on the Caribbean Invitational 11. No ball is the call, so a big applause from the Guyana on the 25 team. They know the importance of every run here. There's a ball sliding down the leg side.
And a spirited contingent is the Guyana under 25 contingent in the Players Pavilion, making sure that the spirits are held high. Here is the free hit delivery. Slower ball, hit well, and this has gone a long way out of the ground, and that's the first maximum in the Caribbean maximum of the morning. It comes off the blade of Ramjohn, takes him up to 14.
Yeah, good looking.
Slower ball, hit well, and this has gone a long way out of the ground, and that's the first maximum in the Caribbean maximum of the morning. It comes off the blade of Ramjohn, takes him up to 14. As a spectator like us, watching the action as Ridwan Ramjohn goes after Saeed. Away he goes again. So really taking the attack here to Burhan Saeed under the whip here. And another clean strike, very after Saeed. Away he goes again. So really taking the attack here to Burhan Saeed under the whip here. And another.
All along the ground, we saw a shot straight down the ground, we saw an edge that went away for 4, and we see a couple of flick shots, so he's been scoring on all parts of the ground so far. Oh, that's another one, good slice, and this one will run away. And in fact, it's gone upstairs. So Ridwan Ramjohn has taken 25 in that over, 20 runs so far. Oh, that's another one, good slice, and this one will run away. And in fact, it's gone upstairs. So Ridwan Ramjohn has taken 20
on the go, and Burhan Saeed took a punishing assault there in over number 1. And so it's 25 for none, all off the blade of Ridwan Ramjohn, who was on the charge.
Bedtime, buddy.
You said. So we'll try and pick up the name of the bowler from the top end. Umar. So Umar Shazad. Catch is taken. So Rambaros, the first ball he hits down to Ahmedan. He has to go. Catch is taken. So Rambaros, the first ball he hits down to
So 25 for 1, Mario Prasad comes to the middle to join Ridwan Ramjohn. Ramjohn is on 24. And Umar Shazad has made a very good start. He's picked up 1 in his very first ball. So Carl, while things have been quite dire from the media center end, we've seen a very good comeback here from Umar Shazad. And at the end of the first over, scorecard was reading 25 without loss, but it's now reading 25 for 1. Perhaps a little bit of respectability at this point, but still a long way to go. Mario Prasad, he's a very accomplished youngster. He plays senior cricket, and he's a very fine stroke player. 25 for 1. So a couple of good balls here from Shazad. He's picked up one. He's come back with a good dot ball. And so he's made a good start. 24 to Ridwan Ramjohn of just 7 balls. It's 25 for 1.
And a good start for Umar Shazad after we saw the onslaught from Ridwan Ramjohn in the first over. I think the other batters standing at the other end thinking it's an easy thing to do. And this will be a wide. Good diving stop by the keeper, making sure that there's no additional by runs to the extra. So 1 wide added, total goes up to 26. 26 for 1. Mario Prasad yet to get off the mark. He's faced just a couple of balls so far. In fact, 1 legal delivery. And so the Shazad now electing to go around the wicket to the left-hander. Angle the ball into the pads and rather than away. And this is a better delivery, and this time it's defended. And so good over so far from Shazad.
So very good over here from Umar Shazad. It's only been 1 wide. So far we've seen some fireworks from Ridwan Ramjohn, but so far Umar Shazad has picked up some bit of slack on the other side, and what started as a 25 runs over has now gone down to 26 for 1, and we're in the second over that has only conceded just a wide. So ball getting an edge. We'll wait and see, running up towards the 5-leg boundary. Oh, Alex Hussain making a good bit of work there, but can't prevent the ball. So ball getting an edge. We'll wait and see, running up towards the 5-leg boundary. Oh, Alex Hussain making a good bit of work.
In full control, in the sense that the ball would have come out of the middle of the blade, but nonetheless very productive for Prasad to get him up and running. So that will complete another over. 2 gone. It's 30 for 1 at the end of the second over. So while there's a break in the action, I want to take a moment to say good morning to Mr. Rohan Narayan out of the Mayor's office, who's joined us here at the Indo-Caribbean Federation's 30th anniversary match. Rohan is the Caribbean liaison for the Mayor's office, so we want to welcome him. He'll be on hand for a good portion of today, and not only watching the under-25 match here, but also seeing what's on tap for later on when the seniors get into action. So, Saeed Haider. Oh, actually, so Burhan Saeed will continue, and Captain Joel Budu showing exceeding faith in Burhan Saeed after conceding 25 in over number 1. Continues with him, and so he'll be back to the scene of the crime here, and will be bowling to Ridwan Ramjohn once again.
So Ramjohn through the offside, running up towards the boundary. Hussain is giving chase, and this time the ball wins. Ball runs away for 4, so Ramjohn hasn't stopped. So Ramjohn through the offside, running up towards the boundary. Hussain is giving chase, and this time the ball wins. Ball runs away for 4. So
That took a top edge and flew over to deep backward square or deep backward point. All the shots have come out of the middle of the blade for the most part. Oh, goes with it once again. It's in the air and one bounce into the boundary. And so Ramjohn on the charge and he goes through. Oh, goes with it once again. It's in the air and one bounce into the boundary. And so Ramjohn on the charge.
And we are in over number 3, being bowled here by Burhan Saeed. So Saeed has gone for 33 runs in 8 balls. And some telling blows here from Ridwan Ramjohn, the youngster. He's gone up to 32 from just 9 balls. It's 38 for 1.
And now, that now brings a whole different strategic plan here for Joel Budo and his team. And now they're looking to figure out how to get Ramjohn out. And so now they've made some adjustment to the onside field as the long on goes all the way back to the fence. Mid-wicket comes into a straighter position, and so Ridwan Ramjohn giving the Caribbean Invitational team something to think about here in terms of how to dislodge him.
So a lot of work continues to go into this game. Oh, that's one is a full toss and hammered straight out of the playing area. So another 6. And this time Ramjohn goes up to 38. It's 44 for 1. And a game. Oh, that's one is a full toss and hammered straight out of the playing area. So another 6. And this time Ramjohn goes up to 38. It's 4.
Just 10 balls, 380 strike rate.
Yes, Carla, projected score of 293. They're going at 17 runs and over. And we could see a record here. Burhan Saeed has gone for 14 in 3 balls.
He's gone for 39 in 9.
The ball driven up to the fielder, Alex Hussain.
And that may be the first non-scoring shot off the bat of Ridwan Ramjohn, as he's scored off every delivery up to that point.
So a lot of work goes into the plans and certainly preparation for today. We do see our good friends Nathan Henderson along with Shakur. They're putting some finishing touches with the flags of the world around the circumference of the field. And then of course we've seen some hard work done by the likes of Shabir and Akbar and many of those folks that we all don't know their names. And so a lot of work has gone into this event. So one of those rare single off the bat of Ridwan Ramjohn, he goes up to 39. And after 3 is 45 for 1. 45 for 1 at the end of 3.
And then, of course, if you don't mention Selwyn Perry, he will come to find you in short order and say, well, look, what about me?
Yes, Carla. I remember last year he was pulling strings. Yeah, he's always a hard worker. Selwyn Perry, it appears we only see him once a year, and that's the ICF game. So yeah, a lot of hard work put in here, and of course to the managers and the coaches of the various teams, Yodesh Bisnath and Julian Moore, and then of course our friend Sudhir Sharma, the man who coordinated the first part, and yeah, and so he will have a lot of work to do. And also, Carl, part of our media team today is Adil Khan. Adil Khan, he's responsible for the YouTube process this morning and all throughout the day. So when we say good morning to P1 Sports, Adil Khan.
This one is worked into the onside. Alex Hussein on his horse. And a couple of runs here to... in fact, leg by is the call. And so a couple of leg buys added to the total. Takes the score up to 47. And it keeps Ramjohn on strike. Very attacking players, Ridwan Ramjohn. Oh, shot, hammer, into the bushes, it's gone, and that too will take. Very attacking players, Ridwan Ramjohn. Oh, shot, hammer, into the bushes, it's gone.
That ball may take some time to be retrieved. 53 in just the fourth over. And 45 to Ridwan Ramjohn. He's up to 45 from just 15 balls. 53 for 1.
And what a smashing strike, Len. Umar Shazad just looking to test the deck and looking to test Ramjohn. And pulled it, banged it into the surface. And Ramjohn saw it early, was all over it and hammered it. And deep backward square, could only look up above and then go fetch. 45 to Ramjohn. So, while there's a break in the action, I want to take also a moment to mention that the 30th annual cricket match for the Indo-Caribbean Federation is in honor of the late Jasmati Ori and Shireen Ramatar, as this one is hit into the onside for a single. And so the score goes up to 54. 54 for 1, over number 4 in progress here. Just 3 deliveries gone. Mario Prasad will be back on strike. So again, this match in honor of Jasmati Ori and Shireen Ramatar, the mother and daughter duo who selflessly served the Federation as volunteers for the past 20 years. And they were also the mother and sister of the President, Ralph Tamish. And so there will be more to come on that throughout the day. So another dot ball is served up here. 54 for 1 the total on the board.
So Mario remains on 4. We're still in the fourth over. Shazad has gone for 9 so far. Oh, nice little delicate helping the ball. Goes up towards the fine leg boundary. And it goes away for 4 off the bat of Shazad has gone for 9 so far. Oh, nice little delicate helping the ball. Goes up towards the fine leg boundary. And it goes away.
Boundary, and so boundaries coming quite easily here, and at some point you would have to think Buddha will be looking to stem the flow of boundaries. This one elegantly played up into the covers, can't score this time. That will close out another over, and so this time 13 comes from this one. It's 58 for 1 at the end of 4 overs. So as we mentioned today, Jasmati Ori and Shireen Ramatar are being honored for this trophy match. Over the years, a number of first-class, West Indian first-class and test players have been honored, including the likes of Sushib Narayan, Leonard Bechan, Milton Paidana, Rafiq Jubadeen, Bernard Julian, Derek Kalicharan Salmon, Amin Kamal Singh, Gary Nascimento, There's Mr. Darjoon, David Mohammed, Glenn Lord, Jimmy Maraj, Michael Chin, Rabindranath Siram, Sudesh Daniram, Terry Hastu, Basil Butcher, Sean Razak, Joe Solomon, Joe Reds Pereira, and John Aaron among the names of those who've been honored over the years. Sam Suprasad, Steve Kalua, Shukbridge Kumar, and the marathon runner Sue Etwaru, singer Evelyn Morgan. So the Federation has gone to tremendous lengths to ensure that a number of individuals whom would have contributed not only to the organization but to cricket and the cricketing fraternity broadly would have been recognized over these past 30 years. And so we want to congratulate the Federation. We want to congratulate Ralph Tomesh and his very talented team. And so we again settle for year number 30, annual cricket match in the 30th renewal.
So Tamesh Prasad, a couple of Tamesh in the ground, Ralph Tamesh, and then Tamesh Prasad. Oh, struck and struck well. Ramjohn goes up to 50. So a very quick 50 off the bat of Rizwan Ramjohn. He's up to 52 in the ground, Ralph Tamesh, and then Tamesh Prasad. Oh, struck and struck well. Ramjohn goes up to 50. So a very quick 50 off the bat of Rizwan Ramjohn.
Punishing, if the balls were loose, he pounced on them. He hit the ball for the most part out of the middle of the blade. And so Ramjohn, an excellent 50. 5 sixes, 5 fours, 289 strike rate. And so congratulations to Ridwan Ramjohn, putting his hand up perhaps for an MVP award.
Yes, Carl, he's been quite dominating so far. And he has certainly pushed the 30th anniversary of the ICF cricket match into a top gear. And he's up to 52 from just 18 balls, 64 for 1. So Tamesh or Sachin Prasad will have to rethink a strategy here. Bowled a couple of balls. First ball went pretty well for a dot, but then Ramjohn got up to 50.
Oh my. And Ridwan Ramjohn on the charge then.
Well for a dot, but then Ramjohn got up to 50.
Oh my. And Ridwan Ramjohn.
So we're just in the 5th over. With the news, Ramjohn alone has gone up to 56, is 68 on the board. So Tamesh, 10 in the over so far, 3 balls.
So Ramjohn rotates the strike. And so under the pump for the moment is Prasad. So for the moment he gets the main protagonist off strike in the form of Ridwan Ramjohn. He stands at the non-striker's end for the moment. Mario Prasad now on strike. Prasad on 8 from 8.
And at the moment they're going at almost 15 runs and over. So if you're batting with Ramjohn, there's simply nothing for you to do, just to allow him to get as much strike as possible. 11 in the over. Mario remains on 8 off 9 balls. So 69 for 1. We're in the 5th over. So the 30th annual ICF cricket match well and truly on. Guyana on the 25, winning the toss, deciding they'll bat first. And so far things have gone very well for them. 6-9 at the end of 5, 6-9 for 1.
And while there's a break in the action, I want to take a moment to say good morning to the executives of the Indo-Caribbean Federation, led by President Ralph Tamish, Vice President Lisa Edu, Treasurer Dr. Vijay Lilia, Secretary Sharon Ghani, and of course their committee members, Bagmati Lilia, Sherry Williams, Jasoja Thakardeen, Mohammed Shakur, Satish Sahadeo, Sunny Prasad, Stanley Raj, and Yvonne Singh, and of course Ken. Leave out the board of directors, which include Anup Danpat, Frank Singh, and Imran Ahmad. So I want to say good morning to the entire executive committee of the Indo-Caribbean Federation. So Captain Joel Budu takes the ball at the John F. Kennedy end. And so he replaces Umar Shazad, 2 overs, 1 for 16. He has picked up the solitary wicket so far, has Shazad. And so Budu will come into strike into the act here and will be bowling to the very attacking Ridwan Ramjohn in a no-nonsense mood, cantankerous mood this morning. And this time is going upstairs, and the onslaught continues, another maximum, and he goes up and over. No-nonsense mood, cantankerous mood this morning. And this time is going upstairs, and the onslaught continues, another maximum. So search party dispatched in the deep. Ball has been retrieved and returned into the field of play. So a very ominous beginning for Budu, as inauspicious beginning, and so his first delivery slapped away for a maximum. Here he is under the pump, and this time pressure is on, and the pressure yields a wide delivery, and so that adds 1 to the tally. 76 then the total, and another wide once again. So struggle here for Joel Budu out the gate. 77 on the board. We're in the 6th over of play, still in the power play. And this time this one is hit well. And this is gone again for another maximum. And Len, could we... 77 on the board. We're in the 6th over of play, still in the power play. And this time this one is hit well. And this is gone again for another maximum. And
6 fours. He's taken everyone to the cleaners.
oh.
Down the track. There is another one. All the way from Ramjohn. All the way for 6. He's got upstairs again. Cleaners.
Oh.
Down the track. There is another one. All the way from Ramjohn. All the way.
Up and over long off. Just clean strikes out of the middle of the blade. Ramjohn on the charge.
So we've got 20 runs in the over so far.
Yeah.
Well, no remorse. No remorse for the bowler from Ramjohn. There's another one.
So we've got 20 runs in the over so far.
Yeah.
Well, no remorse. No remorse for the bowler from Ramjohn.
Truly out on Joel Budu here. As Ramjohn on the charge, striding for home with 81 to his name so far. 19 away from perhaps a triple figure mark here, and he is within striking distance of crossing the 3-figure mark. 95 for 1. We're still in the power play, and so this would be a record, Len, if we see 100 runs within the power play at the Indo-Caribbean Federation. We have not seen that in over 30 years. We haven't been here for all 30, but I can't imagine for the ones that we haven't seen that 100 runs would come up within 6 overs.
Yes, Carl. Well, if you haven't been here in 30 years, a good chance you can also you can be for the next 30 maybe. Do you plan to live that long?
So 95 on the board for 1. 2 deliveries remaining in over number 6. And this time, this one is hit well. This could run up towards the cover boundary. Man is giving chase. They'll cross for a couple. And so Ramjohn, in fact, they will challenge for a third. And they get through safely. So that takes Ramjohn then up to 84. That total up to 98. So 1 ball remaining, still in the power play.
So 98, final ball for the power plays, and they're on the verge of scoring 3-figure. 29 off this over. 4 6s, couple of wides and 3.
That ball can't score is Mario Prasad. That'll end the over. 98 for 1. 29 of Buru's first. Power play's done. 16.33 the current run rate. Most of that from the big man Ramjohn. 84 of just 25 deliveries. Goodness me, what an innings so far.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Guyana under 25, when they won the toss, might have had the intentions to bat the Caribbean Invitation under 25 out of this game, as we get the signal from umpire Danny Khan. So a couple of top umpires in attendance, of course Danny Khan, and then we've got our good friend Vijay Malena, a one-day international umpire these days.
Well, the way Ramjohn is clearing the boundary, I don't really think power play matters to him.
So Tamish Prasad, his first over went for 11. And Matt, when you consider the average per over is about 17, you've probably got to take a 11 run over from Tamish as being a good respite to the fact, Carl, of the carnage that has really gone on here. 98 for 1.
Yes, we've seen some really extraordinary batting from Ridwan Ramjohn. He's back on strike.
So 98 for 1. It goes down the leg side, so that's 99. 99 in 6 overs. As Ramjohn remains on 84 and Mario on 8.
And another extra here, you would have to say the 100 comes up in the power play. So down the track goes Ramjohn for another single. And that will cross the 100 mark here in over number 7. And what a way to start a T20 innings. 100 for 1 on the board inside over number 7.
So Mario cannot score, can make connection. 100 comes up in the 7th over. And that says a lot about this Guyana under 25 innings, as we see another wide from Tamesh Prasad. Another one. Another wide.
So pressure here on Sachin. Hasn't found the mark just yet with any consistency.
Yes, Carl, we've seen Tamesh Prasad coming up with a bit of plan. The only thing is that he has the wrong man on strike. Ramjohn is the man so far that has done considerable damage. So ball stroked through the offside. Lovely shot. Fielder will come around. That appears to be Omar Shazad. So it's 103 on the board.
104. Prasad on 10. Ramjohn on 85. Another wide. 7 of the over so far. 4 of them have been wides. But still, not a bad over. As long as he hasn't given up a boundary as yet, it's considered a good over. But now it's going to be a challenge somewhat. I mean, it's only one ball. But Ramjohn has shown how much the score can change in one ball.
And we can say it's a great over already, with 8 runs already conceded, and we're saying it's a good over. That only contextualizes what has happened, in the prior overs.
So Ramjohn on 85, this is a test. Tamesh has gone for 8. Oh, it doesn't matter. Oh, gone. So Alex Hussain comes up with a well-judged catch, and the big man goes 8. Oh, it doesn't matter. Oh, gone. So Alex Hussain comes up with a well-judged catch.
And Ridwan Ramjohn perhaps misses out on a triple figures, but does get the rousing applause from his teammates as he comes back to the hut. It's 106 for the loss of 2 wickets. Ramjohn gone for 85. So Michael Sultan is the new batsman who walks to the middle. Who's the bowler? So Hamza Rana has been given the ball. So he takes over from the captain at the John F. Kennedy end.
So minor league cricket continues today. New Empire State Titans going up to Keene Park in Connecticut. And I think Rizwan may have missed the bus. I think that's a good way to keep Rizwan out of the team, Carl. You don't take him, so you don't have problems selecting him.
Well, Rizwan says he is the boss, and so therefore nothing really can transpire without him.
So we wish the New York franchise all the best as they take on New England Eagles today at Keene Park. And so it's 106 for 2 here. Michael Sultan, the new man, he's just come to the crease. Mario is on 11. And Hamza Rana comes into the attack. And Carl, you get the impression that the game is going to play a little bit different now that Ridwan Ramjohn is back in the shade. And so a couple of tidy deliveries here from Hamza. 106 for 2.
So off the mark goes Sultan. He's turning this ball into the onside. Scampers away, so he's away. 107 on the board. Still, we're in the first half of their innings, believe it or not. 7 overs, 7.2 overs gone. And so Mario Prasad now comes back onto strike. He's on 11. Has been there for some time. He's faced 15 balls to this point. And so now it's perhaps the best time to bowl right now, Len, because with Ramjohn back in the hut, batsmen can certainly, or bowlers can now strut their stuff. And so 108 on the board as Prasad goes up to 12. It brings Sultan back onto strike. He goes big, upstairs, ball in the air, man comes in, takes the catch, and so Sachin Prasad out in the deep. He sends, picks up another, and so Sultan, it brings Sultan back onto strike. He goes big, upstairs, ball in the air, man comes in, takes the catch, and so Sachin Prasad out in the deep. He sends, picks up
8 overs gone. So Ryan Ramnarain comes out at 108 for 3. 8 overs completed. And Tamesh Prasad, Matt, let's see what he has bowled. He has bowled well considering what has happened. 2 overs, no mid, 1 for 19. Took a well-judged catch. And so Ramnarain and Prasad out in the middle. It's 108 for 3.
This one just driven up to the fielder. Dot ball to start. Straight and another one.
Bodu. So Joel Bodu picks up
Fielder. Dot ball to start. Straight and another one.
Bodu. And so Caribbean Invitational 11 fighting back here against Guyana.
Yes, Carl, a whole different ball game. They were batting 106 for 2. It's 108 for 4. So what a way things have really turned around here for the Caribbean Invitational on the 25. 108 for 4.
Yeah. So Lachina gets off the mark. He's up and running, and so how things have changed here at Idlewild Park. We were at one stage at 100 for 1 with Ramjohn on the charge. Suddenly we're at 109 for 4, and things have changed tremendously as a couple of quick wickets by the Caribbean 11 to pull themselves back into contention as Mario is turning this one into the onside for another single. And so he continues to rotate the strike here as the score pushes on to 110. 110 for 4. We're into over number 9. Sachin Prasad, the man with ball in hand. And so swing and a miss, ball outside the off stump. And so that will complete another over. And so that at the end of the over, it's 110 for 4 at the end of over number 9. So Hamza will continue.
Yes, Carl. Hamza bowled impressively well. He's picked up 1, just gave up a couple of runs. Mario remains on 13. It's 110 for 4. And this is the first game, the under-25s in action. Guyana under-25 takes on I wouldn't say Carl, a Caribbean Invitational 11. There's guys also from Pakistan and from the other nations, so maybe a rest of the world team at the moment. And so far it's 111 for 4. And they've really brought the run rate down from seemingly, it was up until almost 16 runs and over.
It was up and over 16 at one point. But as we know in cricket, and credit to the fielding team, the Rest Invitational, they have sort of pulled things back quite effectively. As one thing that wickets will do, Len, is to pull the run rate back, and so obviously we've seen on this occasion we've seen a couple of quick wickets fall. In fact, 3 within the space of a couple of overs.
So it's 112 for 4. And so if you're in the ground and you're getting bothered by someone calling you for scores, you can tell them that this game is on YouTube Live. And you can get that game by going to, well, of course, you'll go to YouTube and then get on to P1 Sports, and that's Adil Khan who's carrying this game live. So a couple of ways you can follow the game. And then there's, of course, live scoring. But Carl, you want to think that a lot more people are into live videos these days. It's 113 for 4.
So it's a white. So white ball, and so of course we know the tricks of the trade. Ball goes down the leg side, and so we get the confirm that the white ball has been bowled. Loud appeal.
Yeah, the keeper is Saeed Haider. It's a very tidy bowling spell so far from Hamza Rana. He's bowled 11 balls, he's only conceded 6.
So good bit of fielding in the deep, preventing the second run from being taken. And so that closes out the over. 5 runs from it. It's 115 for the loss of 4 wickets at the end of 10, the halfway point of the innings here for the Guyana under-25. Rohan Narayan is actually in the park from the mayor's office, and so Rohan is the Caribbean liaison in the mayor's office, and at some point here we'll have him just read a message from the mayor's office, and so perhaps at the conclusion of the next over we'll have him do that. Of course, the mayor's office very committed to local cricket and sending a representative to this Indo-Caribbean Federation match. A couple of citations or a couple of letters here sent as well, so we'll get through those momentarily. So this one hit well up and through the offside for a boundary, and that's the first boundary. A couple of letters here sent as well, so we'll get through those momentarily. So this one hit well up and through the offside for a boundary, and
It's 119 for 4, and we are in the 11th over. We bowled here by Tamish Prasad. Tamish has bowled 2 for 24, in fact 2 for 21 coming into this over.
And he's gone. So brilliant bit of stumping. And so was up through the offside looking to drive.
21 coming into this over.
And he's gone. So brilliant bit of stumping. And so was up through the offside looking as they charge back into contention here. So while there's a break in the action, I want to take a moment to say good morning to members of the Guyana under-25 contingent and leadership team. It includes the likes of Jay-Z Mohammed. Of course, I see over in the pavilion as well, Zamin Amin over there, Akbar among others. So I want to say good morning to that entire contingent. And of course, over in the Caribbean Invitational contingent, there's Coach Julian Moore, and I also see the likes of Shama Sukdeo. So I want to say good morning to them. So ball outside the off stump as Ruplal comes to the wicket, and crucial point here for Guyana, 119 for 5. And so contemplates a single, not there. No response from Mario Prasad. So now Mario Prasad, the set batsman that's out in the middle, he has watched things crumble around him since the departure of Ramjohn. And this one is taking an inside edge and running away towards the short fine leg region. So he gets away with a streaky looking single to get himself off the mark. And so that pushes the score along up to 120. 120 for 5. So 1 ball remaining in the 11th over here. So Prasad on 15. Final ball of over number 11. Here is Sachin. And he's taken on the pad and it's been given. So brilliant bit of bowling by Sachin Prasad. Traps Mario on the crease. And so wicket falls here. It's now final ball of over number 11. Here is Sachin. And he's taken on the pad and it's been given. So brilliant bit of bowling by Sachin Prasad. Traps Mario on the crease. Rohan Narayan. And so Rohan brings you a message from the mayor's office.
Good morning to one and all. It's a real pleasure to be here. I like to keep things short and sweet. That is the acronym I live by, KISS, keep it short and sweet. My name is Rohan Narayan, and I am the Caribbean liaison here to the mayor's office. I have a short message to read. Dear friends, I am delighted to welcome everyone as the Indo-Caribbean Federation hosts its 30th annual cricket match. New York has a proud history of welcoming newcomers from all around the world, and this spirit of inclusion is exemplified by the thriving population of Indo-Caribbean Americans that has made invaluable contributions to every sector of our great city. Since its establishment, the Indo-Caribbean Federation has united members of this vibrant community in fellowship and sponsored events that showcase their rich traditions. Today's match, featuring athletes with ties to Guyana and the Caribbean and around the world, is a wonderful way to share the joys of playing and watching cricket with people of all backgrounds. As you gather in Queens for an action-packed day of friendly competition, I applaud everyone associated with the Federation for their efforts to uplift Indo-Caribbean New Yorkers and foster cross-cultural exchange in our most diverse borough. On behalf of the City of New York, I extend my best wishes for an exciting event and continued success. Sincerely signed, September 26th, 2020, Mayor Bill de Blasio. Thank you.
Excellent, Rohan. And we thank the folks at the mayor's office for making Rohan available. 1 short is the indication, so 1 run short. So the score moves on then by just a single up to 121.
So 121 for 6 over number 12. And Carl, a couple of viewers all across the United States want to say special good morning to Dave Juggernaut in New Jersey watching the feed. 121 for 6. Also Sabir Ali also watching the feed. And so wide is the call, 122.
This one is hit down the ground towards mid-on. Another single to Ruplal, takes him up to 3.
So we've seen a very quiet John F. Kennedy International so far, Carl. We haven't seen any. They've been rounded on the left side. I think maybe Ralph Tomish from the ICF told them, no, this is a no-fly zone. So we haven't seen any yet, but you never know. It's a long day.
Or maybe Mayor de Blasio at his input, recognizing that big matches are being played here today, diverting air traffic.
So ball sliced away, running up towards the backward point boundary.
Alex gives up the chase. So Alex Hussein gave chase, gives up the chase in the end. Matches are being played here today, diverting air traffic.
So ball sliced away, running up towards the backward point boundary.
Alex gives up the chase. So Alex Hussein gave chase.
Well, there seemed to be definitely a noise and possibly a chance put down, hard to tell. Definitely was a few shouts. Leading edge, but it'll land safely, could be a run out, and none of them in the end working for the Caribbean Invitational under 25. It was a leading edge, landing safely, and then the run out chance missed. Very good running from Mohabir and Ruplal. 7 has come off the over. 127 for 6 after 12. Current rate at 10.58. Still a healthy run rate, but definitely ever since the departure of Ramjohn, things have slowed down, wickets have fallen. But Guyana under 25 looking to rebuild, get a good score with 48 deliveries remaining.
So Roberto Simpson comes into the attack. It's 127 for 6. Mohabir on 4, Ruplal on 3. So 127 for 6.
So a good start from Roberto Simpson, a couple of dots to Leon Mohabir. 127 for 6, Mohabir on 4. Left alone. Another dot, really good over, really good start first half to the over this from Simpson. Simpson again, another dot, 4 in a row now from Roberto Simpson. Where was he all the time? Might be asking the question.
Yeah, we wanted him when Ramjohn was batting. So wide outside. Yeah, extras have now gone up to 13. We've seen wides totaling 10 so far. So it's 128 for 6.
So dot ball to close out. In fact, no, one ball left. There was a wide. Meanwhile, in the UAE IPL action, no, it's a pretty weird sentence to say. Sunrisers Hyderabad taking on KKRs. This one a shorter one this time from Simpson, and they got
Could be a leg by.
single, could be a leg by. In fact, it is leg buys. So Mohabir remains on 4. 129 for 6 over in the UAE. Sunrisers winning the toss, batting first. 24 for 1 in 4 overs. Johnny Bairstow just chopping on to the bowling of Pat Cummins. 42 deliveries, 7 overs remaining. 129 for 6, a healthy start for the Guyana under 25, but a collapse from then on. Mohabir and Rupla looking to bat deep into these remaining 7 overs as much as they can. Build something, build a recovery. Run rate is 9.9 just about. Still a good run rate, but one thing is maintaining it.
Yeah, good bowling comeback. They were going at almost 17 runs, 16 something at one stage. So this is a very good comeback. Mohabir remains on 4.
The run rate might be 9.8 now, but definitely the last 5 overs or so, the run rates, they've only gotten about 20 runs from it. Straight up in the air, but it lands safely. Looking for some sort of sweep there. Chance at the bowler's end, but puts in a late surge to get back into his crease. And a couple of runs to Leon Mohabir.
So it's 132, 41 balls remaining. And Hamza Rana, he's bowled well considering what we saw in the earlier part of the game. It's 133 for 6.
And you might make the point, Len, that now bowlers are very confident. No Ridwan Ramjohn out there. Bowlers can set themselves and exercise some strategic thinking and trying to dislodge some of these batsmen at this stage. When Ramjohn was there, bowlers were unsure where to bowl. Nobody wanted to bowl at that point. Down the track and converts that one into a full toss, but just taps it gently down to long on to pick up a single. And so Ruplal up to 6, or the Mohabir up to 5. Ruplal on 6, he comes on to strike. This one a hit up into the offside, can't score, and so the score remains at 134. 134 for 6.
So Mohabir goes up to 8. It's 135 for 6. We've got 37 balls still to be bowled. Arana in this over has given up 6 runs. 135 for 6. 135 for 6.
What's your cricket, guys? Ladders! One by one, Robbie. Very nice, Robin. Nice, Robin. Get back in, buddy.
So at the end of 14, it's 135 for 6 with Mohabir on 8, Ruplal on 4, 135 for 6.
Carl, you got him.
And
So Roberto Simpson will continue. First over went for just one run. Will come into bowl to Mohabir. Mohabir on 8. It's 135 for 6. Ball cut away nicely by the captain. And it runs away for 4. So good looking shot from Leon. He goes up to 12. It's 101 run. Will come into bowl to Mohabir. Mohabir on 8. It's 135 for 6. Ball cut away nicely by the captain. And it runs away for 4. So good looking shot from.
And still on course for a reasonably good total is Guyana, as scampering through for another single. And so score up to 140. 140 for 6, Mohabir up to 13, Ruplal on 4.
So we've got 34 balls still to be bowled. Simpson. A partnership of 20 so far, so it's 140 for 6. Ball turning to the onside, so very quiet period here for the Guyana on the 25. Got off to a blazing start, led by Ridwan Ramjohn, who slammed 85 from just 27 balls, 9 sixes and 6 fours. And so at the moment, with 32 balls remaining, it's 142 for 6. So not a bad over so far from Roberto Simpson. 7 runs in the over.
Never. Nothing from here. Let me say from here. Nothing about 3 feet, right? More. Yeah.
So a couple of dots to close out over number 15. 142 for 6 at the end of 15 overs. Mohabir on 14. Ruplal on 5.
85 for one guy, make 96.
While there is a break in the action, I want to take a moment to actually update you on the ICF executives for 2020, and they include President Ralph Tamish, Treasurer Dr. Vijay Lilia, Secretary Vanessa Matura, committee members Bagmati Lilia, committee member Stanley Raj, Jasoja Thakurdeen, Sansan Sana Prasad, Mohammed Shakur, and then of course the board of directors include Frank Singh, Imran Ahmad, and Anup Danpat. I want to say good afternoon or good morning still to the entire ICF executive leadership.
So Joel Budu comes into the attack. His first over went for 29. It's 142 for 6. We've got 30 balls remaining. Mohabir on 14, Ruplal on 5. And so it's 142 at the moment of 15 overs. Joel Budu comes into the attack. Ball cut away, beats the man at backward point. Simpson is giving chase, makes a very good save. Saved the boundary, saved a couple of runs. Good effort, good commitment there. It's 144 for 6.
And good commitment by both fielders. Alex Hussain gave it a brilliant effort. couldn't get hands to it, and then Simpson coming around to do the cleanup.
So 28 balls still to be bowled. Mohabir is on 16.
Ball well hit up into the deep, but protection there keeps the batsman to just a single. Ball played well along the ground. 145 for 6. One stage, Guyana were on course for 100, in fact for 293, as this one is slapped away for another boundary here. And so well needed boundary. 145 for 6. One stage, Guyana were on course for 100, in fact for 293, as this one is slapped away for another boundary here. And so it's 149 now on the board. And this should bring up the 150. So 150 comes up. And it comes up in over number 16.
So 150 on the board. Mohabir is on 17. Ruplal is on 10. So single out towards the cover area, Zahid Tariq. And that completes over number 16. So 16 gone, it's 151 for 6. With Mohabir on 18, Ruplal on 10. A partnership of 31. And so it's 151 for 6.
Again, a reminder that this is the 30th annual cricket match for the Indo-Caribbean Federation. And this year the match is in honor of two important individuals, Jasmati Ori and Shireen Ramotar. They're a mother and daughter duo who selflessly served the Indo-Caribbean Federation as volunteers for over 20 years. And they're also the mother and sister of the Federation's president, Mr. Ralph Tamish. So I want to congratulate those who are on hand to represent Jasmati Ori and Shireen Ramotar. So Roberto Simpson to continue. And he comes into Mohabir. And Mohabir is going up and over backward point to pick up his 19th run. And so he then brings Ruplal back onto strike. He's on 10. 156 on the board. 3 overs remaining after this one. Or 23 balls. This one is defended into the onside. No chance to score. And this one is hit down the ground towards long off. And again, no chance to score there. Well, a single taken there, no chance to get a boundary. 153. And this one again, tugged into the onside. They press for 1. That is all that's on offer. As Simpson fielding his own bowling, had to run a long way. Clearly a fit youngster.
Yes, Carl Simpson has bowled well. He has bowled 2.4, only 11 runs he has conceded. So he has been exceptionally well. It's 154 for 6. Only 3 runs in the over so far.
He walked around last night. He walked last night. They want to pick me up.
Couple of delivery, in fact, one delivery remaining in over number 17. And then So let's hit down the ground. Alex Hussein gets on his horse and keeps the batters to just 1. And that will close out the over. 4 runs from it. It's 155 for 6 at the end of 17 overs.
In 29 months.
So a new bowler introduced here. So a new bowler introduced here. So we're trying to. So Ram Prasad, the new bowler being introduced here. Mahendra. Wait. Prasad.
So 156 for 7. Kiran Krishna comes into strike. Mahabir is on 21. Chandrapal Ramprasad is the bowler. And so we're in over number 18. 15 balls left. It's 156 for 7. Kiran Krishna will face his first ball. 21 to Leon Mahabir. And the bowler is the off spinner Ramprasad.
Yeah, that one and 2.
So 158 for 7. 3 runs in this over so far with a wicket. And Krishna picks up a couple of runs here, so he goes up to 4. It's 160 for 7.
They have to make 10, 15. The one to 171. The might be long,
So 13 balls remaining. Krishna on 4. They come back for a couple of runs. Well run in the end, just challenging the fielder. And so that completes over number 18. It's 162 for 7. 162 for 7.
We look forward to coming to here and over to the Imagine whole year and then go.
Play early. Dapat on the 2 over. That.
Last one 6 year, you're good, you know. No, man, I'm not hard, like. I believe that I can be you are.
So 162 for 7, ball outside the off stump. No chance to score. Just 12 or 11 balls remaining in the innings now. This one is hit well into the onside. They go for 1. They think about a second. The throw comes in. And they stay for 1.
So 163 for 7. Krishna on 6. Mahabir on 22, the captain.
So 10 balls remaining.
Bat guys, bat.
So Kiran Krishna will take guard from umpire Danny Khan. 163 for 7. And perhaps Len 130 runs shy of where we thought they might have been. The way Ridwan Ramjohn started like a man with his hair on fire. And he romped his way to 85 in just 27 balls before he had to depart.
So we'll see the curator, Mr. Joe Siwarak, makes his round. So 9 deliveries remaining. It's 163 on the board. So IPL score 49 for 1. KKR. In fact, KKR bowling. So Sunrisers, they're batting a 49 for 1. In the 8th.
Struck well stopped.
Ramprasad.
And he does well. And when you can keep the balls from going for boundaries at this stage, you're doing a good job. And well done by the man out in the deep at long on.
Yeah, you can hear the coach Julian Moore imploring the bowlers to be short. Anything could happen when you bowl short. You could even get a wicket with a short ball. 164 for 7. So the captain remains on 22. That completes over number 19. 164 for 7.
What? So
Ramprasad will finish up here. His first over win for 7. Picked up a wicket. So ball played up towards the onside. That's only a single to Krishna. And Krishna goes up to 8-22 to the captain, Mohabir. And it's 165 for 7. 5 deliveries remaining. So the Caribbean Invitational under 25, they have really pulled this game back. We were looking, Carl, in a score in the vicinity of 200 at one time. So when you consider it's 166 coming into the last over, you've got to say this is a manageable chase when their turn comes. Oh, big swing and a miss. And Krishna remains on 8. So 3 balls remaining. 166 on the board.
So
8. So 3 balls remaining. 166 on the board. So a couple of balls remaining here. Krishna on 12, Mohabir on 23.
And at the halfway point, Len will have to run through the list of sponsors who have made this Indo-Caribbean Federation 30th match. So we've got a couple of deliveries remaining here in over number 20, 2 balls remaining. And new ball has been sent in as the last ball clearly has not been retrieved, gone into the bushes, and so Vijay Malala, umpire Vijay Malala has elected to just use a new ball for these last couple of deliveries. And so 170 on the board. Kiran Krishna on 12. Here is hit well in the air towards long off. It falls in. They go for 1. They come back for a second. And they'll get 2. Now they'll get 3. So all that turns into 3 runs for Kiran Krishna. Takes him up to 15, and so it brings the captain Liam Mohabir on to strike for the final delivery. It's 173 for 7 with 1 ball remaining. Swing and a miss, and a charge through for, and it's been given out. So Alex Hussain coming up with the goods, and so 1 ball remaining. Swing and a miss, and a charge through for, and it's been given out. So Alex Hussain 8 at the end of 20 overs.
Yes, Carl, we'll have to wait and see. It's 174. The wicket plays well. We know from history here at Idlewild playing facility, the wicket is a very good wicket. The outfield is fast. So 174 could still be challenged here this afternoon. We'll wait and see as the Caribbean Invitational under 25 will need 174 to win here. 173 posted by Guyana.
While there's a break in the action, I want to take a moment to acknowledge the sponsors of the 2020 renewal of the Indo-Caribbean Trophy match. And they include Main Street Insurance, that's Stanley Raj, Nasir Mohammed, the Rockaway Group of Companies, that's Mr. Hafiz Ali, Rudy Prasad of the Eastern American Cricket Association, Gemtex USA, that's our good friend Narayan Kewal, La Parkin Trading, that's Sasi Singh, Queen's Resource and Advocacy Center, that's Dr. Vijay Lulia, AD1 Tax Preparation, that's Donna Ingram, Central Auto Repair and Body Shop, that's our good friend Dave Thakardeen, Guyana Times, that's Mino Naram Sarup, City Bias and Stitching, that's our good friend Jay-Z Mohammed, Upscale Construction, Mr. Irfan Malik, Cricket Zone USA, that's our good friend Ravi Etwaru, Flowers by Frankie. That's Victor Ramdean. Floral Explosion. That's Anton. Angel Bakeries. That's Joseph Angel. GT Tents and Party Rental. That's our good man Dave. Z&R Funding LLC. That's Roger Kwapisiewicz. Harriman Joseph of ACS. MGN Funding, that's Marlon Sinarine. Terry Hastu of ACS. Sharma Sudale. And last but not least, Anuska's Gift Basket. That's her good friend Anuska. So we will pause here and return for the run chase with the news that the Rest Invitational will need 174 in 20 overs to overcome the total posted by the Guyana under 25 of 173 for 8 in their 20 over allotment.
What made that Bluetooth that thing? You get Bluetooth on your music, right? How that thing work, man? Yeah, but here what it is. Bluetooth on little thing like a thing. That's a chance to remove it back. Right? And then you synchronize that with your phone and come on the music. And you look for the phone and look for one on Bluetooth. How you charge that thing now? When you turn the music down.
So ball turned into the onside. Good looking shot here from Parstrom. Picks up a couple of runs. He gets off the mark and takes a score up to 4 without loss in the first over. Being ball here by Jamil Jackman, Carl. This is a good start from the Caribbean Invitational on the 25.
Early days yet, but certainly the bowling will have to be very effective here. 173, not the worst total on the board, so still runs on the board, as we say in cricket, or runs on the board, as we get the signal for a couple of wides here added. So total up to 6 already, with just still 1 legal delivery registered. And so if you are the team chasing, you have to be feeling good about your position, in the sense that 1 ball registered 6 runs on the board. You might consider that a boundary off this first ball.
Yes, Carl, and it's a very quick outfield here at 223rd. And the wicket, as we have known it for all the years, oh, flicked away. That's a lovely shot off the bat of Zahib Tariq. And it goes quickly across the ground for 4. Lovely quick outfield here at 223rd. And the wicket, as we have known it for all the years, oh, flicked away. That's a lovely shot off the bat of Zahib Tariq. And it goes quickly.
Easy pickings for Tariq, just steering it away, guiding it off the pads. Confident looking flick to get himself up and running.
So a couple of legal balls in the over. And they're up to 11 so far. So good reply. Leg by is the signal. And the umpires are Danny Khan, president of the United States Cricketer Umpires Association. And the man standing at square leg, Vijay Malela, won the international umpire. 11 on the board. Parstrom gets a good delivery, but turns it into the onside. And Carl, a positive reply here so far from the Invitational on the 25 team. Still some ways to go, 162 from 116, but you've got to be quite pleased with 12 in this over so far.
And neither batsman seemingly perturbed by the pace of Jackman. And Jackman is particularly quick, but so far the batsmen have effectively handled him with ease. Still a delivery remaining here in over number 1. 13 already on the board, so a good start in the end. Chasing 174 needed for victory. The Rest Invitational on the charge, and this one is pulled away. Runs here, in fact, could go away for a boundary, and we get the confirmation that it's gone across the rope. The Rest Invitational on the charge, and this one is pulled away. Runs here, in fact, could go away for a boundary, and we get the confirmation that it's gone.
So Moin Khan has been given the ball. Will come in from the John F. Kennedy International end. Goes down the leg side. 5 runs. It's going to be penalty runs here.
So wide and then penalty runs added. So it's 6 is the total that's added to the
Wide penalty and the one out of
So 23 on the board. And Vijay Malela had to bring out one of those signals that you hardly would ever use. And so Malela brings out one of those skiers signal, and by the way, Malela does umpires training, so a good chance for him to really get working on one of those signals. Oh, flicked away, lovely shot. Zahid Tariq on the charge. He goes up to 9. It's 27 without loss. Chance for him to really get working on one of those signals. Oh, flicked away, lovely shot. Zahid Tariq on the charge. He goes up to 9. It's 20.
Zahid Tariq.
So 27 on the board. We're just into the second over. And they're going at almost 19 runs and over at the moment. The required rate is just about 8. So certainly a huge gap there. Moeen Khan runs into ball to Tariq. And Tariq steers it away up to the man. A backward punch, has to be run out. The throw comes in. And wicket goes down. Parshram is run out. It's 27 for 1. And Tariq steers it away up to the man. A backward punch, has to be run out. The throw comes in. And wicket goes down. Parshram is run out. It's 27 for 1.
The throw came into Ramjohn and he took the stumps apart. First wicket falls here, 27 on the board, and a huge mix-up has dislodged what was appearing to be an enterprising partnership.
The new batsman.
Kennedy right there. Right there. Right there. You see, I'm going to take a ball behind that bush there. There, the road to go loose. Behind the bush.
So Hamza Rana comes to the middle. Rana had a good day with the ball. 1 for 20 or 4 overs. And he comes in at the fall of Parshram's wicket. Good bit of work there from Ram Narain. 27 for 1. We're in over number 2 being bowled here by Moeen Khan. Still 147 to win from 112 balls. So overcast conditions here at Rosedale in Queens. Couple of big matches on today. Later on we'll see the seniors going at it. Guyana will take on the rest of the Caribbean. What a chase here, will not get there, and it goes away for 4. So good looking shot off the bat of Hamza Rana, and he gets off the mark today. Later on we'll see the seniors going at it. Guyana will take on the rest of the Caribbean. What a chase here, will not get there, and it goes away for 4. So good looking shot off the bat of Hamza.
So an enterprising response by the Rest Invitational. Hamza Rana up and running. Glorious looking shot through the covers.
So a big thud onto the pad. Could be let by here. In fact, leg by is the call. That's a more of a conventional signal that the umpires used from time to time, buys, leg buys, and wides. And so Malila at the leading end, and Danny Khan on his square leg at the moment. And Carl, speaking of umpires, the likes of Steve Kalu and Ashok Bridge Kumar would have been resident umpires for many years in the 30 years of the Indo-Caribbean Federation Games. And both men, Ashok Bridge Kumar and Steve Kalu, would have done tremendous work with this federation over the years.
Yes, Len probably would have officiated maybe the first 20 years or so of this these 30 matches. Bridge Kumar coming out of Canada, and Kalu would have done 25 of these consecutive years. So we're getting it straight from the historian himself.
Yeah, and now Danny Khan, the baton has been passed on to Malila and Danny Khan. Can they go until 2049?
That's left to be seen. We'll have to see how things unfold here. Question is, can Ralph go until 2049?
Well, there's always Selwyn to pick up the slack. I mean, Selwyn could run for the ICF president next year. You never know. He's a popular man.
So
he has my vote.
Well, the thing is, you don't pay any dues, so you can't vote. 33 for 1.
So Jamil Jackman continues, and Jamil Carl, we saw in the last over, was quite popular going down the leg side, and he paid the price. So it's 140 to win from 107 balls. This is the Caribbean Invitational under 25, and it's 34 for 1. We're in the third over. Been bowled here by Jamil Jackman. A big offer by Hamza Rana. Doesn't go well. And Carla Mann was asking me that this is the under 25 team, but he wanted to know the birth certificates of some of the players representing this under 25 team. 34 for 1.
So Jackman has found his groove here and landing it properly now. Has found a good length to Hamza Rana, and probing outside the off stump and trying to find the edge. And so a good couple of deliveries here from Jamil Jackman.
Oh, what a shot from Hamza Rana. May have gone all the way, we'll wait and see, but it's a lovely shot. He's gone upstairs.
Here from Jamil Jackman.
Oh, what a shot from Hamza Rana. May have gone all the way, we'll wait and see, but it's a lovely shot. He's
off stump with an offer, letting the pace of the ball do the work. And once he got that on ball, just threw the hands at it and let the ball fly, and fly it did. And up and over backward square, up and over backward point, and into the boundary. In fact, it's come back quite quickly, given that it went all the way into the bushes. But two good sleuths have gone in and found it, and have returned it to the field of play. So Jackman to continue, 40 on the board. Hamza Rana up to 10.
Yes, Carl, I remember going up to Rhode Island several years ago, and we used to go at a ground. Cosmos used to go up there, and there was a ground in Rhode Island in which they had a dog named Henry.
Yeah, I do
and
remember.
every ball that is struck in the bushes, that dog will go and fetch that ball back. Very, very good dog, Henry. And of course, the sad news, we went up to Rhode Island like about 3 or 4 years later, and we understand that Henry had passed away. But Henry had an offspring that was also trained in retrieving balls. So every time you go to that ground, you're always fascinated to see the dogs going to work and retrieving every single ball that is struck in the bush. 40 for 1 at the end of 3 with Tariq on 11, Hamza on 10.
While there's a break in the action, we'll remind the fans and spectators that at the halfway break, there will be a small a ceremony, or at least an interlude of sorts, in which we'll do a moment of silence for the folks being honored here today, as well as there will be some activities that we know always happens at the halfway point, and so be prepared for a very entertaining halftime. So just giving you a heads up, that's upcoming. So mowing continues, and he starts with a dot ball in the block hole to Zaid Tariq. Tariq on 11 has batted well, 2 fours in his innings so far. He's faced just 8 balls. And
so the asking rate about 8. They're going at 11. Zahid Tariq on 11, the man on strike. Gets a good delivery, running quickly. That's good running. Cheeky single. And that takes the score up to 41 for 1 in the 4th over.
And a good understanding between Hamza and Tariq. And as soon as the ball was played, Hamza was on his horse, and so too was Zaid Tariq, and they got home comfortably in the end.
So Rana goes up to 11. 42 for 1. Still 132 required from 99.
And good support coming out of the Rest Invitational 11. They continue to keep their batsmen in the hunt and making sure that they are connected to the energy that's coming out of their players' pavilion.
Oh, what a shot! Through the offside, no man move. Zahid Tariq picks up another boundary. It's 46 for 1.
The energy that's coming out of their players' pavilion.
Oh, what a shot! Through the offside, no man move. Zahid Tariq picks up another boundary.
Through the offside, and so he goes up to 16. And Rest Invitational closing in on their first milestone within earshot of crossing the 50 mark.
Yes, Carl, it's this is one of the ground in which you get fair value for some of those shots. Typically on New York field, you play a shot like that and it's only a single. And you've got to run very, very quickly for 1.
Well, the ground cut very low. A beautiful outfield here, and looked quite fast. And we've seen the ball really carry when it's hit on the ground. It's really been moving across the surface pretty quickly. But this time the ball has gone up and over and into the bushes. And so now is one of those situations where the ball can get lost easily, and we see umpire Vijay Malela calling for a new ball, and so the ball is tossed out to Naresh Ramjohn.
Yeah, and Malela will have a look.
Well, it's a brand new ball, so the ball was that particular ball is 3.4 overs old, so it's a matter of pretty much a new ball in essence.
Yeah, Carl, back in the olden days, the umpire probably would have tried to doctor that ball for a use of probably a 4 over though.
Just try to scuff it up a bit, just to try to put some wear and tear on it. But Malela just takes a look, tosses it over to Moin Khan and says, let's get back on to business, boys. And so Moin Khan does, and this one is worked off the hip into the onside. They go for 1. They'll come back for a second, and they'll get home. Ooh. And fell a bit awkwardly, did Zaib Tariq, and good sportsmanship by Naresh Rambarosh, just going across and making sure that he was okay. So he's back on his feet, no worse for the wear and tear. Another couple of runs added takes the rest Invitational up to 48 for 1 with 1 ball remaining in over number 4.
So 8 runs in the over so far. Tariq on 18. He gets a good delivery. And this is sensible batting from Tariq and Hamza Rana. They've picked up 8 and 9 and over, and they've eliminated the big shots, the risky shots, Carl, from time to time, and they've just rotated the scorecard. So spin for the first time. Ryan Ramnarain, I think, has marked out his mark, and he will come in here at 48 for 1.
So while there is a break in the action, again I want to remind you that this particular event is possible courtesy of several individuals, including Main Street Insurance, Nazir Mohammed, Rockaway Group of Companies, Rudy Prasad, Gemtex USA, Le Park and Trading Limited, Queens Resource and Advocacy Center, AD1 Tax Corporation, Central Auto Repair and Body Shop, Guyana Times, City Bias and Stitching, Upscale Construction, Cricket Zone USA, Flowers by Frankie, Floral Explosion, Angel Bakers, GT Tent and Party Rental, Z&R Funding LLC, Harriman Joseph, MGN Funding, Terry Hastu, Sharma Sukdale, and Anuska's Gift Basket. So we thank all our sponsors, as without them this event would not have been possible.
So Ramnarain being paddled into the onside with ball running up towards the backward square area. And they come back for a couple of runs, so that brings up the 50. The 50 comes up here for the Caribbean Invitational under 25. And it comes up in the 5th over.
Yes, Len, they've really gone about their business with a sense of purpose and a very effective start for the Rest Invitational as they go in search of 174 needed for victory. So this one tugged down to long on position. Another single in the offing here, and so that moves the total up to 51. And it brings Zaib Tariq back onto strike. He's on 18. Hamza stands at the non-striker's end for the moment. He's on 14. Partnership building here. 24-run partnership between these two.
So left arm spinner Ramnarain comes out of Majestics. Quality spinner, 51 on the board. Tariq has batted well for 18 so far. Yeah, the running continues to be quite effective, and they've batted cleverly. They've, in times of hardship, they've turned over the strike to each other.
And good understanding between Hamza Tariq and Hamza Rana and Zaib Tariq. There have been no hesitation. They seem to understand each other quite well. They run very quickly between the wickets, and so they've been very effective in rotating the strike and keeping the scoreboard moving.
So a good contest here. 4 runs in the over so far. Still asking 8 and over. Oh, that's a big shot.
And that could send the tournament budget up here.
Test here, 4 runs in the over so far. Still asking 8 and over. Oh, that's a big shot.
And that could send the... And so he gets it back in. And at the same time, he's gone in search of another ball, it would appear.
Yes, Carl, we were at a game a couple of weeks ago And every time the ball gets lost in the bush, a man went and searched. He came back with twice as much. Cut away. Hamza Rana, a couple of bounces. And it goes away for 4, 62 for 1 at the end of 5.
And what
the ball gets lost in the bush, a man went and searched. He came back with twice as much. Cut away. Hamza Rana, a couple of bounces. And it goes away for 4, 62 for 1.
Obliged in doing so, and they've been very effective in this run chase. 62 on the board after just 5 overs. So looking to match the energy and the start that Guyana had when they batted. In 6 overs, Guyana were near 100. They were 98 off their out of the power play, and so with 62 on the board after 5. The rest Invitational are within striking distance of a similar start, and so 15 overs remain here. Hamza Tariq on 24, Hamza Rana on 24, Zaid Tariq on 19, looking to put a good partnership together, partnership of 35 so far. So the captain takes the ball. And so he comes into the attack from the from the John F. Kennedy end. And so he'll be bowling to Zaid Tariq on 19.
So almost 12 runs and over. The requirement is 7.47, 747. Quite appropriate for John F. Kennedy. We haven't seen one of those 747 yet. I'm pretty sure we will. So the captain Mohabir runs into bowl to Tariq. Tariq turns it into the onside.
And pressure on the fielder leads to an errant bit of fielding. Nonetheless, single was seeming to have been on. And so 63 then the total. It brings Hamza Rana on to strike. Rana on 24 from just 13 balls, so he's striking it at 185.
Yes, Carl, and he can strike the ball and strike it hard. We've seen a couple of big shots from him already. One particular shot in the last over was a punch through the offside. A bit of an edge here. They could pick up a couple of runs. Fielder is giving chase. And so 2 more runs to Hamza Rana. Pushes him up to 26. Takes the partnership to 38 and the 65 for 1.
And they seem to be quite comfortable against this bowling. No sense of being troubled by anything that they're seeing at the moment. Both batsmen now well set. Gone the distance. Big strike by Hamza Rana. And he goes up and over. They're seeing at the moment. Both batsmen now well set. Gone the distance. Big strike by Hamza Rana.
The 32 is center 1 on the board.
And it's a good point, Len, as a bowler, there's nothing good can come from a ball down the leg. You can't get a leg before decision, and it's unlikely that you're going to pick up a wicket in that area. And so Hamza Rana taking advantage. Gone to him, Liad Mahabir. What a comeback by the captain to his defense. Pick up a wicket in that area. And so Hamza Rana taking advantage. Gone to him, Liad Mahabir. What a comeback by the captain.
Neatly beaten and bowled by a quality delivery. May have spun a lot. And he falls for 32, is 71 for 2.
So Said Haider is the new batsman who walks to the middle. And so Hamza Rana comes back for a well played he had a well-played 32 from 16 balls, 3 sixes, 2 fours, strike rate of 200. So 2 runs for every ball that he saw. And so the 44-run partnership comes to an end. And the new batsman who arrives is Syed Haider, a man who was doing all the wicket-keeping duties.
Yes, Carl, this is a big strike from Lian Mohabir. He takes care of a budding partnership between Zahid Tariq and now the man in the shade, Hamza Rana. So a 44-run partnership interrupted by a quality delivery from Lian Mohabir. And so this might be a good time for the Guyana under 25 to claw themselves back into this game. It's 103 required from 85 balls.
And then one way to stem the flow of runs is to pick up wickets. And so said, so done by Mohabir as he strikes in over number 6. So the power play is now to an end. And so after 6 overs, it's 71 for 2. And so again, they're 27 runs shy of where Guyana were at the end of their power play, but still in the hunt, in the sense that Guyana's second half of their innings was not as prolific as their first, as they only posted 75 runs from their last 10 overs. So the first 10 overs went at 9.8 per over. The first 6 overs went at 9.8. They posted 98. The second 10 overs went at 75, and so here is where things sort of normalizes with the averages, and so the rest Invitational would fancy their position at this juncture with 8 wickets in hand, 2 of their best batters still out in the middle, and a solid batting unit in the hut, and so the Guyana under 25 will have to continue to press here and to try to pick up wickets to stem the flow of runs.
So 71 for 2 at the end of 6. Ramjohn continues. Oh, quality delivery. So Ramjohn has made a very good start to his second over.
So Zahid Tariq trapped on the crease and being very fortunate. That one may have struck him a tad bit high, and so survives a stifled appeal. And so a couple of good deliveries to start here for Ramjohn.
So very, very short single there, almost at slip. So Syed Haider comes into strike. Might have been Matthew Lochena.
A very aggressive to taken single, because it went right to the fielder who was inside the 30-yard circle.
So good start in his second over here by Ramjohn. And you get a feeling, Carl, since the departure of Rana, things are playing a little bit differently here in favor of the Guyana under 25 team.
And as we say, Len, nothing stifles a run chase and even runs being scored more so than wickets being taken.
So an over that only conceded a single run. Well, a very good quality over here from Ramjohn. Good one for Guyana. 72 for 2 at the end of 7.
And again, while there's a break in the action, I want to take a moment to acknowledge several sponsors whom have made the 30th renewal of the Indo-Caribbean Federation match possible. They include Anuska's Gift Basket, Sharma Sukdeo, Terry Hastu, MGN Funding, Herman Joseph, Z&R Funding LLC, GT Tents and Party Rental, Angel Bakeries, Floral Explosion, Flowers by Frankie, Cricket Zone USA, Upscale Construction, City Bias and Stitching, Guyana Times, Central Auto Repair and Body Shop, AD1 Tax Preparation, Queens Resource and Advocacy Center, La Parkin Trading Limited, Gemtex USA, Rudy Prasad of the Eastern American Cricket Association, Rockaway Group of Companies, Nasir Mohammed, and Main Street Insurance.
So Leon Mohabir will continue first over, went for 9. Picked up 1 wicket. Will come into ball to Tariq. Tariq on 21, 72 for 2.
Oh, and now, again, now pressure starting to build here. You get the sense that suddenly the urgency of trying to get things moving is causing some bit of unclear thinking on the part of the batter. Side Hyder was down the track backing up. As this one, again, dot ball just along the track here. And so far, Mohabir has tightened things up here at the John F. Kennedy end. Just a couple of dots in the over so far. 72 for 2. Ball hit well down the ground towards long on. There's protection out in the deep. Comes around, and in fact it's gone through the man in the deep for a boundary. So 4 runs here at the John F. Kennedy end. Just a couple of dots in the over so far. 72 for 2. Ball hit well down the ground towards long on. There's protection out in the deep. Comes around, and in fact it's gone through the man in the deep. The West Invitational with under 100 runs remaining in their target chase. So now 98 needed from 75 balls. Asking rate still just under 8, 7.8 runs per over the ask. We're presently going at 9.5 per over, so ahead of the asking rate at the outset. While there is a break in the action, again I want to take a moment to say good afternoon to several of the sponsors whom would have made this event possible. Main Street Insurance, Nazir Mohammed, Rockaway Group of Companies, Rudy Prasad of the Eastern American Cricket Association, Gemtex USA, The Parkin Trading, Queens Resource and Advocacy Center, AD1 Tax Preparation, Central Auto Repair and Body Shop, Guyana Times, City Bias and Stitching, that's our good friend JZ Mohammed, Upscale Construction, Cricket Zone USA, Flowers by Frankie, Floral Explosion, Angel Bakeries, GT Tents and Party Rental, ZNR Funding, LLC, Harriman Joseph, MGN Funding, Terry Hastu, Sharma Sukdale, and Anuska's Gift Basket.
So the action continues here, 77 for 2. Tariq remains on 25. We are in over number 8.
So wide will move the tally up to 77. Zaid Tariq, the man on strike. Gets a full toss, hits it down the ground towards long on. There's protection there. And so only a single added. So that moves the total along to 78. It brings Saeed Haider back onto strike. He is yet to get off the mark. Has faced 5 balls so far.
So 96 required from 74. Oh, swept and swept well. It's gonna run away. So 4 runs off the bat of Saeed Haider. He gets off the mark with a 4.
Mark has faced 5 balls so far.
So 96 required from 74. Oh, swept and swept well. It's gonna run away. So 4 runs off the bat of Saeed Haider.
And evens things up here in terms of deliveries faced. And so the total up to 82 now with 1 ball remaining in over number 8. Cutaway. More runs on offer here. This one should run away as well. So good looking couple of shots to close it out. That completes over number 8. And so 1 ball remaining in over number 8. Cutaway. More runs on offer here. This one should run away as well. So good looking couple of shots to close it out. That completes over number.
Just overrun a ball. Tariq is on 26. Haider is on 8. It's 86 for 2. And so 8 overs gone. 88 to win from 72 balls.
So yes, 88 is required from 72 balls at an asking rate of 7.3. 7.3 runs the requirement from this point forward.
So Ramjohn, 2 overs, no mid, none for 15. Will continue. And Tariq has batted well. He's been
he's playing this up into the offside, and they scamper through for an easy single.
So yeah, run a ball will get them what, about 15 runs shy of the tally, but you probably have heard of big overs in between.
Or a boundary here or there interspersed along the way. So not a big ask by any means, but still requires application.
So they're going at 9.8. They require 7.4. So relative to that, they're doing better than the asking rate. Oh, big shot! That's a big shot off the bat of Said Haider. He's gone for a maximum 93 for 2.
And shots like those, Len, will keep the runner ball.
Better than the asking rate. Oh, big shot! That's a big shot off the bat of Said Haider. He's gone for a maximum 93 for 2.
And shots like those, Len, will. The league budget has just, in fact, the Indo-Caribbean Federation budget has just gone up. As another lost ball, and then what they might have to do is put a fielder in the bushes, and so every time a ball comes over, they zero in on where that ball is landing.
Yes, Carl, a couple of weeks ago we were at a game with the DC Hawks, and there was a fella by the name of Rakesh who came from the DC team, and every time one ball was lost, he went into the bushes and brought twice as much.
Came back with 2, 3 balls at times.
If 2 balls were lost, he came back with 4.
And Rakesh was like a hound dog. He was man was finding balls that were lost weeks before. And it was a white ball game, and he was coming back with pink balls, red balls, all kinds of different balls.
So 93 for 2. The action continues. Ball can't score. This has been a very good over, apart from the 6. And so at the end of 9, it's 93 for 2. 81 from 66. 81 from 66.
A reminder that the halfway point of this match, so in the innings break, there will be a short ceremony to perform some official activities of the Indo-Caribbean Federation. There will be a moment of silence for the honorees. There will also be a couple of performances and some entertainment activity that will happen during that time frame, and then also there will be an address by the Indo-Caribbean president, Mr. Ralph Tamish, and then obviously at the end of today's game we'll see the hardware on display here. There will be a trophy presentation at the end of today's proceedings, so we encourage everyone to hang around and participate in a wonderful day of cricket and a Caribbean culture on display here at Idlewild Park. So Mario Prasad has been given the ball. He takes over from Leon Mahabir at the John F. Kennedy end. And so Mahabir would have bowled 4 overs, rather 2 overs, 1 for 23. And so he gives way here to Prasad, who comes into the attack. He's bowling to Zaib Tariq. Tariq on 27, 27 from 23. 4 fours in his innings so far.
So 9 overs, 93 on the board. So ball pulled into the onside. Protection out there. And so 80 to win from 65. 80 to win from 65.
Asking rate still just about 7.4. So if they go at 7 and over. Oh! He gets a long hop and misses out completely. Rarely does Zaid Tariq, rather rarely does Said Haider miss out on an opportunity of that sort. Caught at backward point. That's the end of Said Haider. Ramnarayan takes it down. Rather rarely does Said Haider miss out on an opportunity of that sort. Caught at backward point. That's the end of Said Haider.
He hit that 6 ball last over, right? Then he hit another one too.
So typically you have your best fielders in that backward point region. And so clean, smartly taken catch by Ryan Ramnarayan sends Said Haider on his way. And so he's replaced by Roberto Simpson. And so Simpson walks to the middle. And he'll be on strike here against Mario Prasad, who strikes with ball number 3. He picks up a wicket. And a very important wicket of Said Haider. 94 for 3 at just about the halfway point of the run chase here for the Rest Invitational.
So 80 runs from 63. Simpson comes to the middle. Tariq is still on 28. And so things have certainly swung in favor of the Guyana on the 25 in the last 8 balls or so. We'll have to wait and see how Simpson, Tariq and the rest to come, how was their approach to scoring 80 from 63 balls. So Prasad will come into bowl to Simpson, 94 for 3.
So an appeal for a catch at the wicket. Umpire Vijay Malela not interested. And Mario Prasad has bowled well so far. Brilliantly in the over. Just 1 conceded so far. And this one is thrown away. So a wild throw, but the batsman Simpson lost his footing at the non-striker's end. So no harm done with the overthrow. And so single added, total up to 95 for 3. 1 ball remaining here in over number 10.
So ball not timed well, a bit of a faster ball from Mario. And so that completes over number 10, 96 for 3. And so 78 required from the next 10 overs. 78 required from the next 10 overs.
So yeah, I know. Yeah. So So, information coming in regarding Roberto Simpson. Comes out of the island of Jamaica and would have played at the under 19 and under 15 levels as Charlton Senior, ensuring that that information is known and shared broadly. So thanks Charlton for pointing that out. So Roberto stands at the non-striker's end at the moment. So Matthew Lucena has been introduced. He comes in, he starts with a dot and score 96 for 3 and 78 more runs required from these 10 overs.
So ball swung away nicely here by Zaid Tariq as the 100 comes up. The 100 comes up for the Caribbean.
And 78 more runs required from these 10 overs.
So ball swung away nicely here by Zaid Tariq as the 100 comes up. The 100 from 58. What we've got here?
A contest. Simple. Zaid Tariq has batted well, 5 fours in his innings of 33. This one cut away, staying for 1 in the end. 101 for 3 gets Simpson on strike, 73 off 57 delivery, sorry.
So the junior player out of Jamaica comes on to strike. Also 73 from 57, still a contest on hand here with an asking rate of 7.6. They're going at just over 9. So the batting team, in terms of the number card, the numbers are in favor of the batting team. But we've seen the Guyana on the 25 with some bit of fight back in the last 3 overs or so.
Yes, then. So Simpson defends into the offside. So Simpson would have played 6 limited overs matches for Jamaica at the under 19 level, 3 innings, couple of not outs. And so quality player to have elevated to represent the island nation of Jamaica. And so he comes to this match down the leg side, and so wide is the call. So quick bit of work by Naresh Ramjohn, moving quickly and smartly to his left down the leg side and cleaning up. And 1 more run added to the total here. 102 on the board for 3. 1 delivery remaining in over number 11.
So 72 from 55. 72 from 55. We're beginning to see slightly a bigger gap than runs required and balls remaining. And that is because the Guyana on the 25 are fighting back.
This one is cut away by Simpson. They go for 1, they'll come back for a second, and he'll get home safely. So back for 2. So he's up and running is Simpson. And so he goes up to 3 actually. And so the total 104 for 3 with 11 overs completed, 8 runs from that over. And so the match hanging in the balance. 70 more runs are needed from the next 9 overs at an asking rate of 7.8 runs per over. While there's a break in the action, again, want to take a moment to say good afternoon to the members of the Indo-Caribbean Federation executive team, and they include President Ralph Tamish, Treasurer Dr. Vijay Lilia, Secretary Vanessa Matura, committee members Bagmati Lilia, Stanley Raj, Jasodra Thakurdeen, Sansan Sunaprasad, Mohammed Shakur, and of course the board of directors Frank Singh, Imran Ahmad, and Anoop Danpat.
They get game all the time at Beasley Park here. Yeah, Beasley Park. Tomorrow you have
So Mario Prasad, to continue,
Watch volleyball, you get a memorial game for kids and guys.
Zaid Tariq is getting a good delivery outside the off stump. As oh look, we've actually found one of these deliveries. So as this one played up into the onside when they go for a couple. And so 2 runs, then to Zaid Tariq takes him up to 36 and the score up to 106 for 3. Mario Prasad looking to pull things back here. Guyana Invitational needs some wickets. Meanwhile, the rest Invitational just needs to keep doing what they're doing. Just keep moving along, run a ball effectively is the ask. And so no undue risk required here on the part of the rest Invitational. As the game comfortably poised or comfortably placed at the moment for the rest Invitational with 7 wickets in hand. And we were told at the outset that teams can bat 13. So 11 or 13 plays, they can bat 11. And so still wickets in hand here. Enough of them to be able to get home from this position, one would think. 106 for 3. Over number 12 in progress. Gone through his defenses on the back foot to a ball, a quicker delivery that pushed him back. And being very fortunate to not have the furniture disturbed.
Yeah, Mario's bowling well. He's bowled 10 balls for only 5 runs. And he's picked up 1. They go through for a very well taken quick single. Simpson will be the man to strike. He's on 3. Tariq has batted well for 37. But they need 67 from 49. Tidy over again from Mario Prasad. Only 3 in this over. And his first over went for 4, so he's been quite economical. And so that completes an over that only considered 3 runs from Mario. It's 107 for 3.
Alright, so that closes out another over. Just 3 runs from it. It's 107 for 3. While there's a break in the action, I want to alert you, as usual, our annual raffle will take place this year. So the book of 10 tickets is only $5. And what's on offer? What's on offer in this year's raffle? So the first prize is an autographed bat, which is autographed by all the members of the playing cricket today, including the commentary team, including other members of the audience on hand here. Second prize is an iPad, and then the third prize is a gift basket. So make sure you pick up your tickets, as you have to be in it to win it. So as a new bowler has been introduced here at the Rich Pereira commentary box end, and so he is Robin Ruplal, has been given a ball. He will come in to Zaid Tariq. 107 for 3. Tariq on 37 has led the way here for the rest Invitational. And Ruplal starts with a drag down, and it's hit into the deep for a single. And so that moves the total up to 108. 108 for 3. 173, in fact 174 runs is the required target. And so they're 66 runs away with 47 balls remaining. Asking rate just up over 8.4 runs per over the ask from here on forward. Again, ball played up into the deep. And just 1 run on offer here. That moves Simpson up to 4, which brings Zaid Tariq back onto strike. Ram Narayan well posted at backward point, keeps the batsman from being able to advance the total. So a good start to the innings here, or to his spell, by Robin Ruplal. 3 balls bowled so far, just a couple of runs conceded. And match very much evenly poised to some degree. If you had to tip the scales with an advantage to one team, one might suggest it would be the Rest Invitational, as the Sarju boys are in the ground. This one is played up into the onside for another single. So 110 then for 3. 64 runs, 64 more runs needed. 44 balls on offer. And the challenge for a sharp single and get home safely in the end. So easily taken, good understanding. And so 1 delivery remaining, and so here comes more gift baskets. The raffle prizes are coming out, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you pick up your tickets. Final ball of over number 13, and it squeezes through to concede a single to close out the over. Is 5 runs from the over. 13 gone, 112 for 3. So while there is a break in the action, again a reminder that the raffle will continue at the halfway point, or at the end of today's proceedings. The raffle will be taken, and the raffle, it's to get your tickets. It's a book of 10 tickets for $5. A book of 10 tickets for $5, and you can see any member of the Indo-Caribbean Federation's executive team to pick up your booklet. And the first prize is an autographed bat. The second prize is an iPad. The third prize is a gift basket. So make sure you get your tickets, and you have to be in it to win it. So first prize is an autographed bat, second prize is an iPad, and the third prize is a gift basket.
So 62 to win from 42. Tariq on 40, Simpson's on 5, and so 62 from 42, that's the equation. Mario, 2 overs, no made 1 for 6, so he's been quite economical. He's picked up 1. We'll come into bowl to Zahib Tariq. Tariq has been there from the start, and so 102 required, in fact 62 required from 42. Oh, smashed into the onside. Fielder comes around, takes a well-judged catch, and that's the end of Zahid Tariq. And so 102 required, in fact 62 required from 42. Oh, smashed into the onside. Fielder comes around, takes a well-judged catch, and that's
ball from Prasad's third over. Oh, it's actually Moin Khan is the man in the deep who took the catch. So well-judged catch by Moin Khan, and that sends Zaid Tariq on his way.
So Joel Budu, the captain, comes to the middle. 62 to win from 41. They're batting at 112 for 4. And we are in over number 14, being bowled here by Mario. Mario has picked up his second wicket. Now he's bowling at 2 for 6. 62 required from 41.
How are you playing now?
So 112 for 4, 62 to win from 41.
So first ball, it's played back along the track from Bodo.
And Carl, any batsman coming now, they will have to get quickly onto the expressway. 62 to win from declining deliveries, 38 left.
Yes, Len, and as we've said, wickets stem the flow of runs, and so run rate starting to climb. Again, a beautiful delivery, and what a delivery from Mario Prasad. Rambaros was in his element because thought he had his man cleaned up, but in the end, Budu was planted.
So 62 from 37. Mario continues to bowl well. In fact, we've seen 4 dot balls, we've seen a wicket, and here is the final ball. If this is a dot ball, this becomes a maiden wicket. Mario has bowled well. In fact, he's only given up 6 runs from 17 balls. Here we go. Oh, played a miss. And so maiden wicket. What an over here from Mario Prasad. It's 112 for 4, 62 required from 36.
And that just changed the equation quite meaningfully, as the asking rate now, Len, with just that one over and a wicket taken, moves up over 10 for the first time, is the required run rate. So the run rate up over 10 now, as 62 needed from the last 6 overs. Well, there's a break in the action. I want to take a moment to say good afternoon to Umar Hanif, who was in the ground. Not sure. Oh, it's still there. Oh, yep. So I want to say good afternoon to Umar, who has made his way into the ground. Watch some Indo-Caribbean Federation cricket here at Idlewild Park. So action will continue here. Robin Ruplal to continue his first over. Cost him just 5 runs. And so he'll bowl to Joel. In fact, he'll bowl to Roberto Simpson. Simpson is driving and driving well up to deep cover. Will only get 1. And if you're Guyana, you will live with conceding singles here.
Yes, Carl, but the Guyana on the 25 team has really pulled this game back in the last 3 or 4 overs. We saw miserly spells from Mario, and even Robin Ruplal bowled an over that only conceded 5 runs. So things are beginning to get a little bit steep for the Caribbean Invitational on the 25. And so those big overs that we were talking about, they'll probably have to put in one anytime. Very, very quickly here. 6-1 to win from 35.
And Guyana might have missed a trick when they batted. They were on course for a total in excess of 200. The West Invitational did exceptionally well, picking up wickets towards the latter stages to pull things back quite meaningfully. Budu goes big. First ball to the outside into the trees, and that's gone for a maximum.
Yeah, Budu, Carl Budu did
pull things back quite meaningfully. Budu goes big. First ball to the outside into the trees, and that's gone for a maximum.
Yeah, Budu.
Top ball to Budu.
So 55 to win from 33. They need 10 runs and over from here. Budu is on 6 off 7 balls. It's 119 on the board. Good stop. Ball taken single. And so 8 runs in the over so far. And so 54 is the requirement from 32. 54 from 32.
And so good rotation and good understanding on the part of Simpson and Budu. They're not both looking to go on the charge at the same time, and taking singles that are on offer and then taking the odd boundaries here and there keeps their aspirations intact. So Simpson has faced 10 balls for his 6 runs. So his strike rate has fallen behind, 60 strike rate.
So single off the final ball will put Roberto Simpson back on strike when play resumes. It's 121 for 4, so 53 required from 30 balls. 53 from 30, it's 121 for 4.
So players from the senior teams arriving in the ground. As recall that after this match, the seniors will take center stage for match number 2, and the juniors are on show here. Are the under 25s, Guyana under 25, and the rest Invitational, comprised of Caribbean and Asian players from the Asian continent.
Yes, Carl, we did see quite a few of the senior players already in the ground. We saw the captain, Renwick Batson, we saw Nicholas Chinku, we saw Randall Wilson. Who else did we see? We see Francis Mendonca. We also saw Kieran Sinarain. And so quite a few of the players making their way into the ground for their encounter. We saw Amarnath Prasad, we saw Deveshwari Prasad. And so their engagement scheduled to start at 1 o'clock. So we're back here. 53 needed from 30 balls. Mario will continue. 3 overs, 1 min, 2 for 6.
Gets a full toss. Doesn't hit it well, but does well enough to get it away for a couple. Oh! And not out, says the umpire, as Budu had to put in the dive. And he does well to get there in the end.
So 51 from 29. Roberto Simpson on 9. Joel Budu on 7.
And Budu seemingly a little bit shaken up from the dive that he had to put in at the non-striker's end to beat the throw that came in from long off. And so from long on, so he looks like he's shaking that off. And now they scamper through for a single. So Simpson content to taking 1s and 2s. Budu seemingly more intent, more purposeful in his approach. 15.2 gone, so 50 runs needed from 28 balls. Asking rate approaching 11. Approaching 11 runs per over, 10.7 to be exact. tugs this one to deep mid-wicket for just another single. So Guyana will not be perturbed by conceding singles here.
So 49 from 27.
Thank you very much. Attack.
And the Caribbean Invitation on the 25 needs a couple of those big overs anytime now. Asking rate has gone up to almost 11 and over. Oh, big swing and a miss here from Simpson. Simpson has used up 14 balls. He's on 10. And Budu is on 8 of 9. So Mario continues to bowl extremely well.
So a quicker ball doesn't allow Simpson to free his arms. One ball remaining here in over number 16. Good over so far from Simpson, or from Prasad. Only 4 runs conceded.
So Prasad completes his bowling spell. 4 overs, 1 maiden, 2 for 10. 2 for 10 of his 4 overs with 1 maiden. And so Mario Prasad has been on the ball. 125 for 4, 49 needed from 24, 49 needed from 24.
And if you're the captain, Liam Marabeer, you could not have asked for a better contribution from one of your key bowlers. And Mario Prasad has stepped up to the plate, has met the challenge head on, and has delivered here for his skipper. As you pointed out, Len would have bowled with an economy rate of 2.5 and picking up 2 wickets in the process. Certainly very effective at stemming run flow and also putting your team in a good position to press home their advantage. And so just 4 overs remaining here at Idlewild Park in match number 1. 125 for 4 the total on the board. 174 runs are needed by the Rest Invitational. Down the track and gone. Ramjohn does the rest. Budu on his horse down the track, looking to go big, misses the ball completely, and down the track and gone. Ramjohn does the rest. Budu on his horse down the track, looking to go big, misses the ball completely, and so Inatul Abedin, the new man who has arrived at out in the middle, he replaces his captain Joel Budu. Budu with a rush of blood went down the track looking to go over the top and was brilliantly stumped by Naresh Ramjohn, who does the rest. And so Abedin arrives out in the middle with the Rest Invitational, poised at 125 for 5. They need, and he's taken on the pad and a loud appeal. They need another 49, 48 now from 22 balls. And so leg by is the signal from umpire Danny Khan.
Yes, Carl, a big appeal that was supported by the coach, the manager, everybody from the side. In fact, it was louder here than out in the middle. Now it's umpire Danny Khan.
That tells you then that everybody is invested. Every man is invested in the outcome here. Robin Ruplal, 2.2 overs, 1 made, in fact 2.2 overs, 1 for 14.
So 48 to win from 22. Robin Ruplal has picked up 1 for 14. 48 to win from 22. Simpson on 10. Abedin yet to get off the mark. A dot ball here from Ruplal. Ruplal has bowled well. He's bowled 2.3. He's picked up 1 for 14. So 48 to win from 21. So 48 to win from 19 balls. 48 to win from 19. Only 1 run in the over so far. So very tidy over here from Ruplal. An over that only gave up 1 run. He picked up a wicket. 48 to win from 18.
And that 1 run came by way of a leg by. And so a brilliant over from Robin Ruplal. And now the pressure squarely on the Rest Invitational, as now they need 48 from 3 over at an asking rate of 16 per over. So suddenly the equation has changed completely in favor of the Guyana Invitational, as now they have it all to defend, and the Rest Invitational has it all to do here to try to come up with 48 runs in 3 overs to get to their target of 174. So Mohabir has reintroduced himself to the attack here, and so he comes back from the John F. Kennedy end, and his first spell, 2 overs, 1 for 23. So he takes over from Maria Prasad, who bowled brilliantly for his 4 over spell. Bowled 4 overs, 2 for 10, with including a maiden. Down the track and looking to go big. Lachena gives chase, and they are coming back for a second, and in the end they decide against it. We wait for confirmation. Looks like it would have been runs, so runs off the blade as umpire Malela confirms that there's a nick.
So 47 from 17.
130.
It's gonna get a bit difficult here for the batting team.
Well, pressure is built up here as the batsmen not able to really get the ball away. Roberto Simpson has absorbed some 21 balls, including that one. So he has struggled to get the ball away, which has put some pressure on his batting partners.
So wicket falls, Simpson goes, 127 for 6.
So he goes by way of stumping. So Ramjohn in the act once again, so can't keep him out of it. Narish Ramjohn with another brilliant bit of work, and so Simpson has been put out of his misery here. He falls, 127 for 6 with just 15 balls remaining.
So Alex Hussain comes to the middle, 47 from 15. Mohabir has picked up a couple of wickets now. He's bowling at 2 for 24. And so 47 required from 15 balls. 47 required from Alex comes to the middle.
They had a good school, but then dropped down. Run over to the forest.
So Alex Hussein, in his earlier days, would have come out of the public school John Adams, one of the top public school in school cricket. Might have been their captain at some point, but we'll confirm all of that as he gets going with a single. They'll need a lot more than ones and twos here. And so 46 to win from 14 balls, asking 19 and over. Where did it all go wrong? They were well on course. They were always in touch with the required rate. And now they're staring at 46 to win from 14 balls. Ball worked into the offside. And they settle for one. So Aberdeen picks up his second run. And Carl 45 from 13 with Alex and Aberdeen out in the middle.
Yes, Len, and just getting word that for each 6 struck by the MVP, I think $20 per 6. So we have to figure out the, I think it's each 6 struck in this match. And so we'll have to figure out all the 6s, and then also there's we'll have to determine the MVP as well, depending on the outcome. 2 overs remaining here, 130 for 6, the total on the board, so another 43 runs needed from 12 balls.
Carl, we've seen 5 sixes in this innings. Now listen to this. And we saw 9 in the Guyana innings. So listen to this. All 9 was by Ridwan Ramjohn.
That tells you what happened in this innings. And 130 for 6, the total. So 44 needed in 12 balls, so 22 runs and over required. So boundaries is the order of the day here for the Rest Invitational, as their run chase has fallen away in the middle overs. Robin Ruplal, 3 overs, 1 made, 1 for 14 to close out here. In fact,
so the Guyana senior team will take on the Caribbean Invitational seniors. And that match, 1 p.m. start. The marquee game of today's, and it could be the 3rd stopping here.
Rambaros on the charge as he has come up with another bit of brilliance. And Alex Hussein has to go. Rambaros has it.
The marquee game of today's, and it could be the 3rd stopping here.
Rambaros on the charge as he has come up with another bit of brilliance. And Alex Hussein has to go.
Couple of dismissals, in fact 3 dismissals. It's 130%.
So we'll pick up the new batsman here shortly. We'll try to get the name of the new batter walking out to the middle. So new batsman, Burhan Saeed maybe? Umar Shazad. Oh yeah. Okay. Jarif? Okay, sorry, so it's Jarif.
So Jarif Akif comes to the middle. 44 to win from 11 balls. And so Ruplal has picked up another. He's bowling a 2 for 14. And the way it looks like the Guyana under 25 in a strong position here.
Yes, Len. To lose from here, they would have to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. And another dot here to start things. So Ruplal has had a good day. 2 wickets, conceded just 14 runs, including a maiden.
Yes, Carl, considering the work by Ramba Rose, half of those wickets will probably belong to Ramba Rose, who's been lightning fast behind the stumps.
He's been very tidy, and some smart bit of wicket keeping. Aside from the stumpings, he has saved quite a bit of extras by way of wides, and so he has been really sharp behind the stumps. Narish Rambaros missed out with the bat.
Yes, Carl, and also missed a ball that struck the helmet for 5 penalty. Otherwise than that, he's been stellar. Oh, another wicket goes down, dragged on by Akif. So the misery for the Caribbean under 25 continues with now 44 to win from 7 balls, and wickets tumbling. Oh, another wicket goes down, dragged on by Akif. So the misery for the Caribbean under 25 continues with now 44 to win from 7 balls.
In over number 19, and irrespective of what happens here, as long as legal deliveries are bowled for the remainder of this match, the mathematical equation favors the Guyana Invitational. They could be on their way to securing victory in match number 1 here against the West Invitational.
So Carl, when we come up to 1 o'clock, the Guyana senior team will have to come good today. They have lost last year. And a big put together Caribbean Invitational senior men's team will certainly come very competitive. So we'll wait and watch as Tamish Prasad comes to the middle. And 44 to win from 7 balls. So he will have to get going pretty quickly here.
So that closes out a very impressive over, a double wicket maiden for Robin Ruplal. So he finishes with 2 maidens in a 20-over match. You never really see that. And so Robin Ruplal, his bowling figures read. His bowling figures will read 4 overs, 2 maidens, 3 for 14. 4 overs, 2 maidens, 3 for 14, a 3.5 economy rate. Just brilliant stuff by Robin Ruplal.
Well, I've seen a bowler bowl 3 maidens in a professional match, in a CPL match a few years ago. Mohammed Irfan with the Barbados Tridents. 4 overs, 3 maidens, 2 wickets for 1 run.
I do recall that actually.
Against the Patriots.
I do recall that.
Likes of Devon Thomas, Brandon King, Evan Lewis. Bowling at the top.
Robin Ruplal trying to make his own impression in that round. There's a new bowler being introduced here at the very end. And so Jason Rooney has been given a ball. So the question is, for a bowler who hasn't bowled yet in this match, then to introduce him now with 44 runs to defend.
So ball played up into the onside. Carl, for some cricketers that would have been an insult.
Well, the captain is showing a lot of faith in Jason Rooney here.
So 43 to win in 5 balls. Tamish Prasad.
His faith led is saying, hey, I know Jason will not bowl any extras.
With a required rate of 43. So it's 131 for 8. No ball.
Well, there's an extra.
Well, there is an extra and a free hit coming now. So the free hit ball, and so the one job that the captain asked Jason not to do, he's done.
Free hit time. Love to see it despite the situation.
Son, you had one job. So this one tugged down the ground for a single. 100 then on the board. Just a few deliveries remaining here. 4 deliveries remaining in this first match. The second match, the players are gearing up for match number 2.
Yes, Carl, lots of big names on both sides of the divide. And I'll quickly allow you to go through some of the big names appearing in short time.
Yes, Len, we have the likes of Minja Ramdi Hall, Amanat Prasad, Andy Mohammed, Chris Patterson we saw some weeks ago, Randy Wilson, Terence Madramutu, Wasim Haslim, and of course Yudish Bisnat down the leg side again. So, you know, again, Captain would not want any extras.
It's a wide now. Maybe Jason Rooney's just trying to give this game a little spice. Give the last couple of a little excitement.
Yes, Matt, trying to give the spectators their money's
Look at
worth.
this, he gets a wicket.
He's got a wicket. 38, 2 deliveries remaining. Give the last couple of overs a little excitement.
Yes, Matt, trying to give the spectators their money's
Look at
worth.
this, he gets a
He's
wicket.
got a wicket. 38, 2 deliveries.
Alright, and so with a couple of deliveries remaining here. So in this list, for the Rest Invitational team, the likes of Renwick, Batson, Bereston, Stella Reed, Charlton Sr., Francis Mendonca, Marinaro Dixon, Kamar Marshall. I see Akeem Charles and Troy Haley, Yannick Elliott, Gavin Brown among the list here. Dino Cho, and I also see the list. Brandon Singh. Not sure what the final 11 will be, but certainly it promises to be a very interesting matchup between the Rest Invitational and the Caribbean and the Guyana 11. See Hugo De Oliveira and Karan Sunarayan, Nick Chinku, Shalendra Shamir also in that Guyana 11 from earlier. So promises to be quite an interesting matchup here as the new batsman arrives. And Chandapur Ramprasad. So
Well, we've seen literally every kind of extra in this innings. We've seen a bye, 3-leg byes, a no ball, wides, and even penalty runs.
Yes, the penalty runs had to test umpire Vijay Malela.
Oh, it's another one. Well, it's not.
Maybe not.
No, it is. Umpire Danny Khan at square leg is signaling for that a no ball.
Yeah, Danny Khan is playing into this plan too.
So another free hit. So Bereston Reed has arrived, and so he's here for match number 2. Making sure that we know that he's ready to step into the commentary box whenever.
So 36 to win from this ball here. You never know what can happen.
And of course, I
You
saw.
never know. Extras, no ball, wides. Well, we'll probably have to get the ICC anti-corruption unit to have a talk with Jason Rooney.
So that will close things out here. The over comes to an end, and that's the end of proceedings. And so the match completes with the Guyana 11 winning comfortably in the end. And so we'll have to select a MVP and count the number of sixes, and then turn it over. So 35-run victory for Guyana as they complete the formalities here against the Rest Invitational. Again, a reminder that upcoming next is the Rest Invitational taking on the Guyana Invitational 11 And so the Guyana team will be selected from Hemindra Ramdehal, Armanath Prasad, Andy Mohammed, Arun Prasad, Chris Patidin, Hugo D'Oliveira, Kiran Sunaranj, Nick Chinku, Randy Wilson, Shalindra Shamir, Terence Majamutu, Wasim Ahaslim, and Yudish Bisnath. The rest invitational will be selected from Renwick Batson, Akeem Charles, Burston Reed, Brandon Singh, Charlton Senior, Dina Chowanam, Francis Mendonca Kemar, Marshall Marinar Dixon, Reynard Leverage, Troy Haley, Yannick Elliott, and Gavin Brown. So we'll wait for the proceedings here to see what ultimately will happen here as the teams are selected. And so we'll pause and return for the match number 2, which was slated to get underway at 1 p.m.